Welcome to our new topic that we will discuss for computer subject for M.3. So this time we will learn overview of computer securities and some security measures and management for information. We will talk about computer virus, intelligence property, and biometrics technology. Okay, so for first question, what is information security? Information security is designed to ensure three objectives: confidentiality, integrity, and availability of computer system information, especially from malicious intentions. So to protect the computer system from thieves or damages of the hardware, software, and disruption of the services. And information security is also related to cybersecurity, IT security, or information security. A computer security will be effective if it takes care of the physical security measures. So that's for the hardware connected in the computer network. And then it will lessen the risk or errors of the computer system, especially the loss of data. And it will have appropriate user authentication. So example is for authorized user to use strong passwords. And also the sensitive files or data must be encrypted. So it's also important that hardware, software, data, and computer lines and networks of the computer system are taken care of. Its availability, confidentiality, and integrity. So please remember the CIA triad. C stands for confidentiality, to prevent unauthorized disclosure of information. Letter I is integrity, that is to assure that the data in the computer system cannot be changed by other person not authorized. And letter A is availability, and this is to make the information available to authorized users. So here is the three objectives. So please remember what does confidentiality means, what is integrity, and what is availability. Confidentiality: information must not disclose to unauthorized people or process. Integrity means it's accurate and the data are complete. Availability is to make the information ready to access for authorized users. So here's, please take note, the CIA definition and the keywords that you can use to understand more about information security. Let's go to the security measures and management. So in a complete system or computer system, there are different parts, devices that's included and connected. So there are also some security measures to do and to consider. So like physical safeguards, so these are for hardwares connected in the computer. So it must have some security measures like to lock the office or the building or the rooms are has alarm systems. And then administrative safeguards. So this will to designate some security officers to overlook on the computer system and computer system property. And next we have technical safeguards. So this is about the transactions or processes included in the computer system. So to protect that, you can ensure with strong passwords or backup data files, check the virus, and to have data encryption. With policies and procedures, so it must have a written policy or a handbook for documentation of securities. And for protection, must have recorded of retentions or transactions. And for organizational requirements, so this is between the and for organizational requirements, so people who have access must be identified and managed, and the review and updates must be recorded. So for security of measures and management, it includes hardware security, network security, information security, and here is the an image or a diagram to show you what are other factors or aspects included for security measures. So one is the human aspect or the people users, and then it must have data backup to keep copies of files, and then cryptography to encrypt or to secure the data information, and then it must also use firewall, spyware, and antiviruses. That is to protect from thieves and misuse of information from the computer system. So for the next topic, it will be about data encryption. To discuss the data encryption, let's have some definition first. Data encryption is a very popular and effective data security methods. It simply translates the data into another form, and it can be accessed with the use of secret key or simply password. Encrypted data or encrypted data, this is called ciphertext. Okay, so in the opposite, encrypted data is the plain text. So here's the example. When you say plain text, these are the sentences you can read and understand. But with ciphertext, these are combinations of different characters that is not readable. So here is a data encryption chart. So it's divided into two, classical and modern. So modern, that's the new way to encrypt data, and we have two kinds, symmetric key and asymmetric key. And here's an example of encrypted data. So here is a window used to encrypt a file, and it will encrypt or it will make the plain text into a ciphertext like this. Okay, so this is an example of encryption software to use for encrypting and decrypting your files. For data encryption, we have two types. We have the asymmetric and symmetric. Let me discuss first what is encryption and what is decryption. So, Here, let's start with the input. The input is this sentence. The agile white cat jumps over the sleeping dog. So this input will be encrypted. That means it will turn into a ciphertext. So you see, the ciphertext is something don't know, and we cannot pronounce or read this because it's ciphertext. That process is encryption. And for decryption, that means a ciphertext will turn into a plain text again. One more time. Encryption means from plain text into ciphertext, while decryption is from ciphertext to a plain text. Okay, let's move on. So, symmetric encryption is a very simple kind of data encryption that it uses one secret key that is used for cipher or decipher to encryption or decryption. And this is an old technique. It uses one secret key. It can be number or combinations of letters. For symmetric encryption, the sender and the recipient will know the secret key to access the message. So here's the diagram. So from plain text, a secret key is used to encrypt or to change it into a ciphertext. The same secret key will also be used to decrypt or to make the ciphertext return to plain text again. Remember, it uses one secret key only. So the disadvantage of symmetric encryption is that the sender and the receiver will use one or same secret key to encrypt and decrypt the data. Now let's move to asymmetric encryption. So this is also called public key cryptography. It is a new method, and the difference, asymmetric uses two keys to encrypt a plain text. A secret keys are changed over the internet, or it means can be sent in the internet, to ensure that the malicious persons will not use these keys. But anyone with a secret key will be able to decrypt the message. So let's see this diagram. From plain text, public key will be used. The plain text will be changed to a ciphertext, and a secret key or a different key will be used to make the ciphertext return to a plain text. So remember, the public key and the secret key are not the same. Public key is free available to anyone. And then the second key is a secret key. That's only for the receiver. So a message that is encrypted using a public key can only be decrypted using a private key. So for comparison between symmetric and asymmetric, symmetric encryption uses a single key. Asymmetric encryption uses a pair or two keys. One is public and another is a private key. Symmetric encryption is an old technique, while asymmetric encryption is the new method. WinRAR software is a popular encryption and decryption software. So you can also do file compression, reduce the files, and makes it easier to send your files through email or even store in archives. This will prevent an unauthorized person from viewing the contents of your archive. So for the next topic, it will be about computer virus. Let's discuss about computer virus. What is a computer virus? It is a computer program that's able to affect or disrupt data. Computer virus can also spread in your computer system without you knowing it. And another program that's called worm, this can replicate or multiply in your computer and travel around without infecting any system. So what are the two types of virus? So the two types of computer virus, one is resident virus, a virus that can do same thing with the help of operating system and memory. Number two, the non-resident. Those viruses can search for new files and affect your computer files. So here are some other different types of computer viruses. Let me give you 5 types of viruses that you can encounter in your computers. First is the boot virus. Boot virus will copy the code in your boot sector. So this one is directly affecting your booting system of your computer. Number 2, polymorphic virus. It can affect the system and the signatures. And then macro virus. These are blocks of codes that can automatically perform some task in your computer. And then next we have the worm. Worm, this can replicate and spread in your computer without affecting your system. And then we have trojans. Trojan is a computer program file that is claiming to be something, but in the end it will perform a different function in your computer. So to test if your computer is infected with computer viruses, you should see some symptoms. So maybe you will see some letters look like they're falling from the bottom of the screen. And then some computers will become slow, so you will experience that. Then your computer might be infected with computer virus. And then another symptom, the size available will be in your memory will reduce or become lesser. And then your hard disk will run out of space. So you will notice that your hard disk has very few files, but it will inform you that no more space available. So here, these are the symptoms that you can look for and check if your computer is infected with viruses. And how does a computer virus spread into your computer? So there are different ways. Computer viruses might attach themselves into other programs or files in your computer. Another way is when you use flash drive or pen drive that already have a virus in it, and then you will insert it into your computer, so virus can penetrate to your computer. Another one is there are computer engineers who are also putting some viruses into your computer. It can be because of for marketing strategy, that you will return your computer to them to ask for their service. So let's talk about how to preserve and how to avoid computer viruses. So the first is to install antivirus software. Okay, so you can choose from free antivirus software download from internet, or you can buy from your trusted stores. Next, you can regulate the update of programs. So your computer, if it's genuine, your computer has genuine files, there will be notification for updates, so you can do it regularly. And then you can also avoid opening attached files, especially if you're not confident that the source or the sender is trustworthy. Another way to prevent computer virus is to avoid downloading or installing software that you get from internet, especially if it's for free. And the best thing you can do is to buy and install registered copies of software into your computer system. So, as mentioned before, antivirus software is a type of program, but this one is designed to protect your computer from different malware, like the virus, the worms, and so many. So your antivirus program will scan your computer to detect and also to remove those viruses that it can catch in your computer. So that's an antivirus software. And from last year, 2019, here are the list of best antivirus protection that you can install. So number one is the Bitdefender, and the Norton Antivirus, WebRoot, and so many more. You can search and compare what's the best antivirus that you can install to your computer for protection. And for this year 2020, here are also other free antivirus software programs. So for the next topic, we will discuss about intelligence property. We're moving to our next topic about intelligence property. And intelligence property, or sometimes it's called intellectual property or IP, it refers to the creations of the mind. So that's inventions or the artistic works of some artists, and also paintings or designs, and symbols for names and images in commerce or in business. And intellectual property is protected by the law. So for example, we have the patents, copyrights, and trademarks. This will enable the people to be recognized and to have the financial benefit from their own inventions and creations. So here are the types of intellectual property. The first three is the copyright, patents, and trademarks. For trademark, this is a word or slogan or symbol that's used as a brand name of a company or a person. This is to distinguish the product and the brand that's offered by the company. So for example, when you see this image, so you will think of the Lazada online. And Here, some other popular trademarks that you will see that will remind the people of the product or the service that offered. And there you see some fake trademarks. So these fake trademarks will copy the logo but change a little bit of the design or some characters, but it will trick the consumers or the people that it's the original brand. So here's the example, like the Adidas. You will notice the design of the trademark. It's almost similar. Okay. Next is the copyrights. Copyright is a legal right to protect the ownership or authorship of some original creations. So it has a very wide types, including visual, like the videos or movies and TV shows, and computer games or paintings and photographs. So it has copyrights. Even for audio or songs, musical compositions, spoken words recordings, it can be protected with copyright. And another is for written, like the books, the play, manuscripts, or news articles or musical scores. It can use a copyright to protect its ownership. For example, the website Facebook. If you visit the website Facebook, you will see at the bottom left this word Facebook and then the copyright symbol and 2020. That means that the Facebook website is protected with its legal rights or copyrights. You will see also in some books like this, you will see the copyright symbol and the year when it was published. That's the copyrights of some books and magazines or articles that you will see. Let's go to the patent. Here's an example, a United States patent. So it contains the name of the inventors, what are the assignee, even application number, and also the date it was filed, and it will give several informations to prove or documentations to prove that this invention is created by its original inventors or creators. So their legal rights, intellectual rights, are protected by the law. So owning a patent will give the person the right to stop other persons from making or selling his original invention, especially without permission. And then here, other kinds of intelligence property. Some will use industrial designs and geographical indications. For the next topic, we will discuss about biometrics technology. On this part, we will discuss the biometric technology. Biometrics or biometric recognition, this is a science of analyzing the physical and behavioral characteristics of persons to enable it as his authentic identity. Okay? And can be morphological or a biological. It consists mainly of fingerprints, shape of your hands or shape of your fingers, your vein pattern, your eyes, like your iris and retina, and the shape of your face. That is morphological analysis. And for biological analysis, it includes the DNA, the blood, the saliva or urine that's may be used for medical and police forensics. So here's the types that we will discuss. For biometrics, especially nowadays. It's very popular and useful. So the flow or the process starts with biometric data gathering, and all this data will be stored in a storage or database. And when there's a scanning or matching, the data from the database and the scanned information will be matched or will be compared, and biometrics will produce verifications. So for gathering the data, the information from a person must be enrolled. So it's called enrollment process, to get some template or samples, like a sample of fingerprint, and then it will be stored in a database template, and then there will be template comparison to using different algorithms. And then to do the matching or searching, so again, if you will scan your finger again, it will capture the template or the sample of your fingerprints, and then the biometric template will be compared using several algorithms. So your template extraction will be compared to the template database, and it will give or will show some verifications or not. Here. Then, so it's using data archive or database where all the templates will be stored and also processed by algorithms. And the searching engine will do some comparisons, so different algorithms will be used to do the matching or comparisons. So here, the first type that we will discuss, first type of biometric, fingerprint recognition. So it's also very popular and very useful biometrics, and one of the oldest recognition technique, because every person that's living now, they have unique fingerprint. So that means no persons will have similar fingerprints ever. And then another is the facial recognition system. So the recognition will determine the shape of your face, the size of your jaw, and even the location of your eyes, nose, and lips, and cheekbones. It will all be scanned and create a digital image and put it in the database. Another recognition system is the iris. Iris is part of our eye, or part of a human eye, with a very elastic tissue. And in adult humans, the texture of the iris is very stable. So it has iris patterns for the left and right eyes, and it can be used to identify a person. Another is the hand geometric recognition. So the system will measure the length, the width of your palm, and also the position of your fingers and bone structure. So a person will have a unique hand patterns can use to identify the persons from others. Next, we have retinal scanning system. The retina, part of our eye, and it has a very thin photosensitive cells. So our retina also have its retina patterns that never change throughout our lives. So the retina pattern will also be useful to identify the person. So here is the retina. It's in the back of our eye. So you will see some nerve pattern. So this pattern is used to recognize the identity of a person. And then we have the DNA recognition system. This is a material found in our body, and every person have a unique combination of DNA. So this is a tangible, it will need a tangible samples like your blood, saliva, hair strands, or nails. So the matching will be done in a laboratory and can use to identify the exact identity of a person. So aside from that, there are also wearable devices. We also call wearable biometric devices that's attached to our clothing that can do some functions like to read, record, store individual biometric traits. Just like for some wristwatch that can do heart rate measurement, blood pressure monitoring, and even your number of hours sleep, number of steps can be monitored. So these are wearable biometrics, and this can also use for communication through wireless or near field communication technology. So here's some examples. Even the glasses that can be used to scan the faces of other people and can give notifications, and also some biometric identification rings. So that will be the end of our discussion about biometrics and the end of information security. Thank you.